So Tottenham Hotspur are pushing to sign Mateus Fernandes with Man United, PSG, Real Madrid all still interested. So we're going to talk about that. West Ham are holding out for £85 million. Question, should we even be selling to Spurs? Should we be selling to Tottenham? I've seen a lot of division online about people saying, now it's a new era. We can't be selling to Spurs. So we'll talk about that. It's been a bit quiet on the channel. The news has been, there's little rumblings of things, but it's actually been quiet. I took a few days off, celebrate my birthday over the weekend, and it's just been too bloody hot to sit here and talk about West Ham. But I've got to, at this point. And I'll be honest with you, everyone. Shout out to everyone in the chat. I do not want to see Mateus Fernandes go to Tottenham. I don't want it to happen. It'd be a good signing for them. It would be a good signing. And I don't want to see them strengthened. I don't want to see them in a better position and gloating about getting another one of our players, which would actually be a much better signing than someone like Kudus. Different positions, I know. But I have to say, right now, because of where... Oh, sorry, I haven't even got my mic. Because of the position we're in, my number one priority is get as much money for him as possible, right? Is put West Ham in the strongest position possible. Now, I know Kretinsky's going to pump the money in. Apparently, he hasn't done it yet. He said he's going to do it. And he said we don't need to sell players. But for West Ham to move forward and really be in a situation where we can sign top quality players that want to be here next season and come straight back up, if Tottenham's bid is like 10 mil to 15 mil more than anyone else's, then I say bite the bullet. What happened to Nick the other day? I don't know. I don't know what you're referring to, Matt. Enlighten me, and then I might have some information, but you might be able to tell me. But shout everyone in the chat. But if Spurs, right, say for instance, Man United were to offer 75 and Spurs come in with 80, I believe I would sell to Man United and take the hit on the 5 mil. I'll take the hit on the 5 mil. They're interested in both these teams. Man United and Spurs are interested in Somerville and Fernandes. Now, with Somerville at the World Cup, don't expect to see anything happen till after the World Cup. He did a show for 2 minutes left and didn't come back. I'll have to ask him about that. I think his value is only going to go up Somerville at this World Cup. So I think that it's a case of wait and see for that. Kenneth says Man United are offering 150k and 65 mil, Spurs 200k and 75 mil. Yeah, I mean, look, and if that becomes finalized and that's the only offers we get, I think he goes to Spurs. But I think we're really going to try and push for as close to that 85 mil as possible. Because if we're in a situation where we don't have to sell as much as Kretinsky says, then I think he's going to be hard-nosed about it. If you've got interest from PSG, if you've got interest from Real Madrid, and look, he hasn't got as much interest bid. No one's made a bid yet. There's been no bid. There's interest and there's talks, but there's no bids. So when that first bid comes in, then everyone else comes in. Do you know what I mean? I think you need to get that first bid from a club and everyone moves. And look, we're getting that bidding war. It's exactly what we wanted. It's exactly what we wanted. So as much as I don't want to see us sell to Spurs, if we could get like 85 mil out of them, that would be huge. Shout out, Dad's our job. Hope you were, Adam. If we could get 85 mil, just take the money and rebuild and reinvest. Because there's still going to be Spurs. There's still going to be Spurs at the end of the day. If you're Fernandes, you use him as a stepping stone. And do you know what made me laugh, right? There's these Spurs. There was this really crappy source, DRC or Dias or something like that. Some Spanish source or something. And it said that Fernandes would rather go to Tottenham over Real Madrid because he thinks he'll get more playing time. Now, let's be perfectly honest, everyone. Let's be real. And if you're a Spurs fan, let's be real. If you're a football player, what would you rather? Sit on Real Madrid's bench or start for Tottenham, who narrowly survived relegation? Come on. Come on. Like, you go play for Jose Mourinho at Real Madrid, and he's a young player, and you're going to go, nah, I need to be starting every week, so I'm going to go and play for Tottenham. And they were all lapping it up, the Spurs fans. There were some sensible ones. But come on. Let's be real. No one's doing that. Like, if Real Madrid come in for Fernandes, right, and pay the money, there is no way he turns them down to go to Spurs. Like, no, you have to be like the most deluded Spurs fan to believe that you have more pull than Real Madrid just because you're going to give him a starting position. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. So yeah, at the end of the day, I'm hoping the other clubs do bid more. I hope some Man United come in and bid more. But at the end of the day, I'm pragmatic this summer. It's all about getting back up. Any means necessary. Any means necessary. That's delusional. Man United would never agree to pay over 65 million for a relegated player. Sandberg is already the next best option. Well, then they can do that. They can do that then. They want the player, right? They want Fernandes. And again, yes, relegated, but the value is the value. And like I said, you got all these other clubs in, you know. Yeah, this is where I've been, mate. It's hard to think about football in this seat. That's why I ain't seen many videos. But yeah, Somerville. I think for Somerville and Fernandes, I think we're probably looking at about 150 mil for the pair of them. I'll be honest. Like, if Somerville keeps performing, his value is only going to go up. So, you know, if Real Madrid don't want to pay 80 mil, maybe they can do a player plus cash plus a loan or something. How much do I think Fernandes is genuinely worth? Okay, like what I think he's genuinely worth, not what I think we should take for him. I think Fernandes is probably like a 55 to 60 mil player. His age is he's still young. So I think he's probably worth that. But players go for more than they're worth these days. That is the thing. When's the last time you really see a player, unless it's like one of them unexpected hits, players always go for more than they're worth. So, like in terms of incomings, I think we're going to get to the point where we nearly have to worry, right? Because we still don't have the director of football in place. We're supposed to sign bloody guy from Newcastle, and that's been all up in the air. And we're in a situation now where we haven't sold a player. Apparently, they're going to rip up Fulkrug's contract, which is, you know, neither here nor there. I'm sorry, he's just not. He's finished. But we're not in any position. And this is the thing. We're supposed to be who's negotiating these? Who is negotiating? That's what I want to know, because we ain't got anyone in place. So all this talk about transfer, I want to know who's doing the deals, who's trying to get this money out of Spurs and Man United. Face it, Mateus only wants Spurs. How did that work out for Kudus? Nearly got relegated. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy thing. Like I said, like Dazza Job says, 85 mil. If we flip that, what did we pay for Fernandes? It was around 40, wasn't it? It was around 40 mil. We double our money for him after one season. Look, that's good business. Somerville, I think, is a really good player, but I still have doubts about his fitness and just his consistency in front of goal. So if we get good money for him, but again, I don't know who's doing the deals. Any deals are in a hold until director of football is in place. Yeah. So there you go. This is what I'm saying. We need that person to negotiate it. So that's why it's made it so hard coming and talking about transfers, I see these players we're linked with, right? Like, does anyone take it seriously? Shout out to We Are Tottenham TV. I avoided them on the last the last show after we went down, but yeah, let's see if they go and get if they sign Fernandes and Somerville, right? That would just be a ridiculous. That would just be ridiculous. Like to get Kudus, Fernandes, then Somerville in like a year, it can't happen. It can't happen. But if they want to spend all their money and give it to West Ham, at some point you just go, let's fleece them. Let's fleece them again. Because they paid over 50 for Kudus, right? Which I think Kudus was this is the mad thing. Kudus, I think, was their record transfer. Correct me if I'm wrong, Spurs fan. I think Kudus was their record transfer, which amazes me that they're looking to pay like 75 mil for Fernandes and break their transfer record on a West Ham player again. We'll take your money, but give us a bit more, lads. Give us a bit more than 70. We need there has to be a Spurs tax. There has to be a Spurs tax. I think we got good money for Kudus, but I think Sullivan bent over too quick for him. I think we could have milked him a little bit longer. Kudus baller, but he's been. Oh, Solanke. So they pay 55 for. Oh, was it 60 for Solanke? Still, for them to go and break their transfer record again and again and then again, I'll be interested. I think the thing is with the Spurs ownership, that probably scared the shit out of them last season. Let's be real. If you're Enoch and that probably scared the shit out of them, nearly getting relegated like that. So they're probably going to splash money, which is why we are going to, we're going to fleece them. Oh yeah, they're looking at Tonali. Yeah, so I think we've got to fleece them because we know they've got the money and we know they have to spend it to not be anywhere near that position they was in. So add a Spurs tax. And this is the thing. These stories are going to come out, but as someone said, until we get the director of football in place, none of these deals are going to happen. That's why I don't care who we're linked with. All these random ass players from the Scottish League or flipping the champ, whatever. It's neither here nor there. And I am worried. I'll be honest, guys. I'm worried about how quiet it is. Now, I don't know if it's down to this whole, what everyone was saying, what Sean Whetstone said, oh, the ITK is going to be quieter and all of that. Now, I don't know. I mean, I don't even want to say the flipping word ITK after all the controversial shit. But it's quiet. And we wanted it to be not too leaky at the club. But is it because of that? It's really getting worrying. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to be negative and stress people out. But concerning. I'm concerned just how quiet it's gone. We had that announcement. Why isn't it done yet? Like, if they're going to sell to Kretinsky, if the Golds are going to sell, and if why is he not the majority shareholder yet? Why isn't he not got? I don't know how this all works, by the way. I don't know how takeovers and all of that works. I'll admit. So these things could take time, lawyers and all that. I would have thought that before the announcement, some of that groundwork had been being done already with Kretinsky and the Golds, but it's just been we had that statement and this overload of information. Yep, this is the board, Kretinsky majority shareholder. We're going to invest money in. We don't have to sell. All of this good talk. But I said at the time, actions speak louder than words. We had no act. We had zero actions, zero. And July is creeping up. It's creeping up, guys. So I would like something. We've had the Amanda Stavely rumors and the little bit about her. Someone questioned her about, because she said they're looking to buy a club. They're looking to buy a club, maybe in London. A club that's sort of in distress that they can build up. And someone said to her, oh, maybe West Ham. What about West Ham? She said, oh, well, maybe. You never know. But just nothing. It's just radio silence. I'll be honest, guys. I don't give a shit about transfers. I'm doing a transfer video. I don't care about transfers right now. Everyone's talking about it, so I've got to talk about it. But until we get the stuff behind the scenes done, this transfer stuff, it's just air, guys. So nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. So I need the ownership situation sorted. I need Sullivan bought out by Staveley. And we need the director of football in. Like, it's as simple as that. So every day I wake up and I check online for some positive news in that direction. And nothing. We signed some player, and I'll be honest with you, I'd never heard of him, and I just didn't give a shit. And I just thought it was someone for the youth or something like that. Like, you take the goal. Oh, you take what's his name? Kinski. You take maybe that would be a good side if you get Areola out and get. And I didn't want any part of him in January, Kinski, but you know what I mean. After that, he basically kept Spurs up. Kinski, he kept them up. So yeah, I could see that, but again, like, I want a lot of money. Kinski's our number one. He's not going. So what? I would have thought Spurs would be trying to upgrade their goalkeeper position, but maybe not. Maybe they're happy with Kinski. Kinski won't be muscled into selling any of our players cut price. I hope so. And I hope so. But again, I don't know. I don't know what everyone's thinking in the chat about the situation behind the scenes. I'm trying to find the flipping announcement of this fucking random player we signed. So yeah, we'll see. Like, the fixtures come out tomorrow, the championship fixtures, so we'll be reacting to those, and we'll see when we're rocking up to Millwall this season. So that's going to be a big one. But my most pressing issue is what's going on behind the scenes. Shout out to all the Spurs fans in the chat, by the way. I will say this. Like, if you're Fernandes, Spurs, really, he can do better than Spurs. And listen, Spurs fans, like, you could give it to us about us going down and you stand, like, give us the banter about us getting relegated. Of course, we take it. You won that battle, right? You won the relegation battle. Congrats. But you were still in a relegation battle. So you're not that club. You're not that club anymore. Lawless, how much money will it take for you to estimate the chat? Do you know what? I have done it before, but I don't know if it's a case of you can do it permanently. Oh, God, let me just put this guy in timeout. Or I have to keep doing it. I want to know if I have to keep doing like, every time I have to set up a stream, I have to go in and go, subs only, or I can just make it happen every day. So, yeah, listen, Spurs, enjoy. But I'm just saying this. If he does go to Spurs, it'll be a stepping stone. Because you're never going to be that club. You're never really going to be a big six, consistent, up there club, challenging club. So we'll rinse you, of course. And then he can go and leapfrog you to another club, which I think Kudus will do. And I think if you got Somerville, I think he would do. I haven't seen what business Spurs have actually. I've seen what you've been linked with. Did they get Van Heck in the end? But do what you got to do. Like I said, look, we're biding our time. We're rebuilding. Levy was obviously the issue. It's like people are forgetting he's gone. Yeah, that's the thing. When they say, "Oh, Levy was the problem," and then he left, and then they nearly got relegated. Be careful what you wish for, Spurs fans. So for us, I'm just waiting to see Kretinsky come in and buy these shares, be announced, start making moves, West Ham. Start making moves. So we're in limbo. We're waiting for this World Cup to finish. We're waiting for the director of football to come in. We're waiting for Kretinsky to buy gold shares. We're waiting for Amanda Staveley, Lady Staveley, to come in and buy the Sullivan shares, please. And then you will see the sleeping giant wake up. The sleeping giant that is West Ham United. So I'm frustrated now. I'm concerned. But let's just try and be patient and see what happens. Let's just try and be patient. That's all we can do is wait. So listen, it's bloody hot. I am sweating like crazy here. And we'll be back live reacting to the fixtures, the championship fixtures, the championship. That's the real comp. That's the real comp. So listen, Spurs fans, do you know what, Spurs fans, every summer, you guys are box office. I love you guys because you do this every year. Like you do the whole flipping, the Men in Black, beep, where you fucking have the memory flash from last season. And you go into next season so hyped, chest fully out, chest miles out, right? And then it all goes to shit again. And then you cry, and it's just rinse and repeat. It's like the cycle of the Spurs fans, and we all love it. Like we all find the rest of the world find it so entertaining. Like we love this time of year because we see yourself building yourselves up, and then you have that little good start, and then we wait for it all to come to shit, and it happens, and it's beautiful. So we'll be in the championship, Spurs, but we'll enjoy the downfall. We'll enjoy the downfall. And listen, I will tell you this: you can laugh about Lincoln away. But now Sullivan is not in charge of this club. We don't give a shit. We do not give a shit. Is that a guess? Or you had some leak, Andrew? Blackburn away, first match Friday, bloody night. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I wouldn't be surprised. So, yeah, like I said, West Ham fans, you can try and banter us about getting relegated, and that's your right. But I promise you, we don't care. Because the main issue at West Ham is gone, and that's Sullivan. Now, I want his shares completely bought out, but he's not in charge of this club, so I'm happy. So as much as I'm frustrated that things are moving slow behind the scenes, we know for a fact that Sullivan is not on the board anymore. You know? How you feel about Sullivan's house? Spurs feel about Levy? Yeah, but the thing is with Levy, I know he was running the club. But he wasn't running the club and the majority shareholder, right? Like Sullivan was the be all and end all of the club. Like he was Enoch Levy wrapped into one, or John Lewis, or whatever it is with whoever their structure is at Spurs. So, like for us, like I said, I promise you, like every West Ham fan, we are not sad anymore. We're not gutted about getting. I mean, I'm not down about being relegated anymore. I'm just waiting for the future, and I think we come straight back up. So listen, we'll be on there. Do check out OK Jersey. You can get your international tops, your West Ham's tops, or your Spurs tops. Everyone, you know. So yeah. Check it out, okjersey.com. Nikki 15 for 15% off. That's a good savings. Yeah, tomorrow the fixtures. Listen, who gives a shit about the Premier League fixtures? This is the real fixtures. Oh, imagine we get Millwall at home first game of the season. That'd be mad. So we'll be here. So listen, try and survive the heat. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Honestly, sweating like crazy. So we'll be back for these, and we'll be back in the Premier League. Mark this video. Cheers, mate. Cheers, Joe. What date is this? 24th of the 6th, right? West Ham will be back in the Premier League at the end of the season. Automatic promotion. So thank you all for watching. See you tomorrow. One thing left to say. Come on, you Irons. How do you not have AC? I'll answer this because I live in the UK, mate, and we don't really do AC over here. Don't ever come to the UK, Americans. June, July. Clip it. Everyone clip it. West Ham coming straight back up. Right? Straight back up. It's a new era. I'm just waiting for it to bloody start. Come on. Nice one, mate. Nice one. Enjoy it. Like I said, I've got this one. It's just a bit too big for me, this. This is a flipping extra large, which on OK Jersey means that it's a large. So, yeah. Crazy. Thank you anyway for watching. I'm going to go and try and cool down. Sweat is literally dripping. I don't know if you can see that, but I can feel sweat just dripping down my head. Look at that. It's ridiculous, mate. It's ridiculous. Flipping heat waves. We spend most of the year wishing it was hot, and then it comes, and then we're like, nah, mate. Enjoy the rest of the day. See you tomorrow for the fixtures. Come, you irons.